Hello and good evening. I hope that this is okay. We're back in the bathroom because it's late and dark. I'm tired. I don't feel like leaving my house. So we are on Mark chapter 5, verse 1. Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm very tired, so if I look tired, it's because I am, and if I yawn a lot, it's because I'm exhausted. So, yeah, we're just gonna try and get through this. But I really did want to read my Bible. I was like sitting at my table eating, and I was like, I really should read my Bible today. So, I'm reading my Bible. So yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna open this door like a little smidge because it's getting hot. I have a heater on because it's not cold today. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're gonna get right to it because I want to blab. It's okay to blab sometimes, but it's not okay. You know what I mean? Okay, chapter 5, verse 1. Hopefully I can read this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have. You know what? This is gonna go really well. So, anyways, so they arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of Gerasenes. I also can tell that I'm tired because my voice does this, like, I can feel it in my throat. Like, it does that. I don't know why. It just, when I'm tired, like, my voice gets like that. Anyways, we're gonna try and not do that, but it'll probably happen. Okay. When Jesus climbed out of the boat, a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrist and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night he wandered among the burial. How do you say that? Burial. Sorry. I don't know why. I act like English isn't my first language. Anyways, caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. When Jesus was still some distance away, if you hear anything, my dog's sleeping. He snores, so. When Jesus was still some distance away, the man saw him, ran to meet him, and bowed low before him. With a shriek, he screamed, "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In the name of God, I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had already said to the spirit, "What is your name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man." Which is, like, I wonder, what is the number? Like, what is the actual number of demons that, first of all, was inside this man? But I wonder, like, what is the record of demons in one person? I wish I could Google, but I'm filming on my phone, so I can't. So, but I can't even imagine, like, being these, like, witnessing this in person. First of all, witnessing this man that literally no one can control, no one can contain, not even chains and shackles. Whenever I hear the word shackles, or like think of the word shackles, I always think of that song, Shackles by Mary Mary. My mom used to love that song, and they used to have it in Zumba, and like I remember the dance too. Anyways, it's so good. Okay. But no, like, he literally cannot be contained. No one was strong enough to subdue him, it says. Not even the chains, not even the shackles. Nothing could control this man. And he would run around howling and cutting himself. Could you imagine just seeing that? Just seeing that. It's like a casual day. Oh, that's just Jimmy, just howling and cutting himself. Like, what? I don't know. It's just, yeah. I couldn't even imagine. And then also, like, back then, because things were so different and the way that things were perceived were different too. So I just wonder, I don't know. I just wonder, like, what was going on in their heads when they would see this. I also think about, like, the fear that it would instill in people. And then this poor man also not being able to control himself. And, like, one thing I was thinking, I was like, are you aware when you're demon possessed? Are you conscious? Are you, like, thinking? Are you feeling? Like, is he feeling him cutting himself? Is he feeling the feeling of, like, I'm sure it would have to leave marks if you're literally, shackled and you're pulling the breaking the shackles and stuff. Is he feeling the pain? Is he aware of what is going on but just has no control over his body? These are questions that I want to ask. Also, I'm in no way a Bible scholar. I am learning just like the majority of people. So yeah, this is not like a I don't know, in depth. I mean, it's like, not that it's not in depth, but like, it's not like a master scholar Bible study. It's a very what's that word? I don't know I forget what the word is. Intermediate. I forget what the word is. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but it's very much like, this is the level that I am on. Okay. Anyways, like, I don't know much about, I know what I read in the Bible, but I just don't know, like, the feelings, are they able to think but just not be able to have control over themselves, but they're aware of everything that's going on. That's even scarier. So I definitely heard of people, like, blacking out, but to be aware of it and then to know that you have no control over it, even though you're aware of what's going on. It's like you're hurting someone, but you don't want to hurt someone, or you're hurting yourself, but you don't want to hurt yourself. You know what I mean? That's even scarier if you are aware of what's going on. Anyway, so we're on verse 9. Then Jesus demanded, "What is your name?" Oh, wait. Okay. So verse 10. Then the evil spirits begged him again and again not to send them to some distant place. There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding on the hillside nearby. "Send us into the pigs," the spirit begged. "Let us enter them." So Jesus gave them permission. The evil spirits came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the entire herd of the entire herd of about 2,000 pigs plunged down the steep hillside into the lake and drowned in the water. Which makes me think, what was the point? I mean, I guess. Okay. Anyways. Verse 14. The herdsmen fled to the nearby town and the surrounding countryside. Soon the news... Oh, sorry, my fingers all... Okay. Soon... Where am I? Soon the news. People rushed. Oh, spreading the news. Spreading the news as they ran. People rushed out to see what had happened. A crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who was demon possessed by the legion of demons. He was sitting They are fully clothed and perfectly sane, and they all were afraid. Then then those who had it's getting difficult. Then those who had seen what happened told the others about the demon-possessed man and the pigs. And the crowd began pleading with Jesus to go away and leave them alone. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. But Jesus said, "No, go home to your family and tell them everything that the Lord has done for you and how merciful he has been." So the man started off to visit the 10 towns of that region and began to proclaim the great things Jesus had done for him. And everyone was amazed at what he told them. So I just want to circle back to verse 13 where it says, "So Jesus gave them permission." And I just really think it's so important to remind ourselves, so important to remind ourselves the power that we serve and the one whose side we are on, because it can feel like sometimes evil has a lot more power than it actually does. But in all reality, we serve the ultimate authority and the ultimate power that even the demons need permission, that even the devil needs permission. So it's super important for us to remind ourselves of the authority that we serve and the authority that we have in Jesus's name, because for me at least, it's very easy to forget, and it's very easy to shrink yourself or to dismiss the power that we have in Jesus' name. It's very easy for me to do that, and it's easy for me to forget, not that I question God's power, but I question the authority that I have through him, out of my own insecurities and out of my own shortcomings and stuff like that. So it's really important to really remember who we serve and the power that we have on our side. Excuse me. I really want to look into that though. I really want to look into if people are aware when they are possessed, if they know what they're doing, if they are if they're just aware, they know what's happening, they know what's going on, but they just don't have any control. Sorry, I was yawning. That was happening. I'm having a rough time. But I really do want to get through this. So we're going to go to verse 21, and this is Jesus heals a bleeding woman and restores a girl to life. But, also I want to say, what great power that is, and what a healer he is. Jesus, he could have easily been ew, get away from me. I don't need this energy around me, this negative energy. He literally cast these demons out of this man. He healed him and restored him. He was fully clothed and perfectly sane when Jesus was done with him. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? Could you imagine being perfectly sane? I don't know what that's like. But just how incredible is that? And that Jesus even had compassion for the demons. He could have literally. So I don't know. I kind of wish I could read the New King James a little bit, but it says, "I beg you, don't." Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Where am I? Don't torture me. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So this says the evil spirits begged him again and again to not send them to some distant place. I don't know. What does the New King James? I always want to go back to the New King James. I'm like, some distant place. I don't really remember. I haven't read Mark in a while to remember exactly what it said. But I mean, you can even tell, like, he granted their request. He even had, I don't know. I would call it not compassion. What did I use? Did I use the word compassion? But Jesus could have been like, no, frick you. I'm not sending you into this herd of pigs. What, like, you want me to do that? No. But he didn't. He did what was asked. Isn't that insane? Like, my human reaction would be like, no. Who do you think you are? Absolutely not. Bye. Be gone. But he literally cast them into the pigs per request. So I think that's something to point out as well. But we're gonna go to verse 21. Sorry, my hair. So like I said, Jesus heals a bleeding woman and restores a girl to life. So excuse me. Okay. So Jesus got into the boat again and went back to the other side of the lake, where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. Then a leader of the local synagogue, whose name was Jairus, arrived. When he saw Jesus, he fell to his feet, pleading fervently with him. "My little daughter is dying," he said. "Please come and lay your hands on her. Heal her so she can live." Jesus went with him, and all the people followed, crowding him. A woman in the crowd suffered from 12 years of constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she spent everything she had to pay them. But she had gotten no better. Is that proper English? But she had gotten no better. I don't know. Anyways, I guess that is. In fact, she had gotten worse. She had heard about Jesus, so she came behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought to herself, "If I can just touch his robe, I will be healed." Immediately, the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible, this is making me emotional, of her terrible condition. Could you imagine suffering for 12 years of constant bleeding? And all she had, oh my gosh, I'm PMSing, so hold on, my eyes are getting a little misty. But could you imagine you are literally looking for answers? You're going to doctors, it says that she had spent everything that she had, and she had gotten no better. In fact, she got worse. And all she did was touch the hem of his robe and also have faith. because she thought to herself, if I could just touch his robe, I will be healed. And immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible condition. I don't know. Imagine, first of all, I really admire her faith 100%. I'm sorry, I am not in a comfortable position at all. I really admire the faith that she had to even just think like his clothing, even just his clothing. She didn't even say him, his body, his skin, if I could hold his hand, if I could touch him, if I could like hug him. No, his clothing, his robe, even the robe is enough. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Okay, we're going to verse 30. So Jesus realized at once that the healing power had gone out from him. So he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" His disciples said to him, "Look at this crowd pressing around you. How can you ask, who touched me?" But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. And the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell on her knees in front of him and told him what she had done. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over." And I think it's important to know, like, she was scared. And Jesus didn't, like, reprimand her. Jesus wasn't upset that, she had touched him without his permission, or like, because so far, well, no, the man that was possessed didn't necessarily ask to not be possessed, but it wasn't like a thing where it was, she came up to him and was like, "Hi, Jesus, can you heal me?" Or, "I'm not well, can you make me well?" And it's like Jesus touches her and then she's well, or Jesus just speaks and she's well. She kind of just took matters into her own hand and claimed her healing, literally just claimed it, and was like, but Jesus wasn't upset. He didn't like reprimand her, he didn't punish her. He admires her faith and says, "Go in peace, your suffering is over. Your faith has made you well." I don't know, hold on. Is there anything, let me see. I kind of want to read, so I have the Life Application Bible. I don't know if I already mentioned it in this one, but I have the Life Application Bible. And I kind of want to read what it says for 31 through 34. It says, "Getting close to Jesus must have seemed hopeless to this sick woman, but she didn't give up and fought her way desperately through the crowd in order to touch his robe. As soon as she did, she was healed. Jesus not only healed her, but he also affirmed her faith. She had suffered for 12 years, but Jesus was now giving her a lifetime of peace. What a difference between the murderous Pharisees, the crowds who were curious about Jesus, and the few who reached out and touched him. Wait, what? what a difference between the murderous Pharisees, the crowds who were curious about Jesus, and the few who reached out to touch him. Okay. Today, many people are vaguely familiar with Jesus, but nothing in their lives is changed or bettered by this passing acquaintance. Genuine faith involves action. Only an active faith can release God's healing power. Move beyond curiosity. Reach out to Jesus in faith. His touch will change your life forever. This is probably one of the most beautiful stories in the Bible. One. Okay, there's many. But hold on, we're not done. Verse 35. While he was still speaking to her, messengers arrived at the home of Jairus, the leader of the synagogue. Okay. They told him, "Your daughter is dead. There's no use troubling the teacher now." But Jesus overheard them. Or it says, Jesus ignored them and said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid, just have faith." But then Jesus stopped the crowd and wouldn't let anyone go with him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. When they came to the home of the synagogue leader, Jesus saw much commotion and weeping and wailing. He went inside and asked, Why all this commotion and weeping? This child isn't dead. She's only asleep. I love when he says that. Because it's like, she's low-key dead, but she's low-key not. You know what I mean? Anyways, let me be quiet. Okay. The crowd laughed at him, but he made them all leave. And he took the girl's father and mother and his 3 disciples into the room where the girl was lying. Holding her hand, he said to her, Talitha cum, which means, little girl, get up. And the girl, who was 12 years old, immediately stood up and walked around. They were overwhelmed and were totally amazed. Jesus gave them strict orders not to tell anyone what had happened. And then he told them to go and get her something to eat. So here we see 2 stories of acts of faith. We see the woman who was willing to risk it all, basically, and just touch the hem of his clothing. We see a man who had faith in Jesus to be able to raise his daughter from, to heal his daughter, but then to raise her. I love when he says she's only asleep. I love that. I love that. But then to raise her from the dead. And we see that Jesus is all about giving life. We see the difference also with, the evil spirits and then the Holy Spirit, because the evil spirit, obviously, I know that this is, this is already known, but ow, my back just popped. That's not good. No, but the evil spirit, it was, causing destruction, making this man, first of all, lose complete control of his body, cutting himself, howling, screeching, causing commotion, clearly, you know, putting fear in people's lives. If they weren't afraid, then why would they try to, contain him and chain him up? Not even the chains could control him. And then, they're cast into this herd of pigs and they run them off of the hillside. Obviously, these evil spirits cause nothing but destruction and harm and hurt. But we see Jesus's Spirit, the Holy Spirit, is life-giving and life-bringing. It is healing. It calms, and I love that Jesus isn't, like, when he heard that, I mean, obviously Jesus, he's not like us, everyone else is crying and they're all upset, and the one guy, the messenger, is like, you don't even need to bother the teacher anymore, she's dead. And he basically gives up hope, and Jesus is like, all right, get out of my way. It literally says, well, the first part says that he overheard, but at the bottom I have like little asterisks in my Bible, and it'll say, like, in the Greek or in the Hebrew it says this, or some manuscripts say this, but it just says ignored. So Jesus ignored them, literally was like, anyways. And he was like, this girl is only asleep, she is not dead. Why is everyone saying that she has died? She's just sleeping, she's just taking a good little nap, okay? She's in her REM sleep. Yeah. And he literally raises her back to life, and this family doesn't have to cry anymore. This family doesn't have to mourn anymore. This family gets to rejoice. And this woman who has suffered for 12 years gets to rejoice and live her life in peace. It says, Jesus literally says, your suffering is over. I don't know what the other translations say. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I am educating myself a lot more, but I'm not an expert on the Bible. I'm not an expert on the different translations. I don't know exactly what the other translations say, but the NLT says your suffering is over, okay? And to go in peace, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think this story is probably one of my favorites, and then also the woman at the well is a story that's 100% like one of my favorites. I think is that in John? They're just such beautiful stories, and I just love that. I don't know. I think because I grew up in like a very disciplined environment. Not disciplined. I feel like discipline's a good thing. It's a very like punishment-based environment. So I can understand why this woman was frightened. Cause I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be mad at me. I didn't ask for permission first. I didn't ask to touch him. I didn't ask for healing. I didn't get, this permission. He didn't reach out and touch me. You know what I mean? I did it myself, and I'd be scared that he would do something to me. I'd be scared that he would be upset with me, for me touching this man without permission. But Jesus was not. He was completely the opposite. And he admires her faith. He comforts her. He affirms her. It's just, I don't know, it's just a very beautiful story, and the fact that she's healed, 12 years. 12 years is a very long time, and also to be in that position to feel like almost hopeless when you've gone to doctors, and that happens today, when you get in that feeling of like, I am not getting any better. I feel like this is just, you might even start like just accepting your fate, you might even that was the chair, don't get it twisted. You might even, just start accepting your fate as like, okay, this is my everyday life. This is my life now. I'm coming into agreement. I was watching Girls Gone Bible on YouTube. Was it? I think it was an independent video. I don't know. George Janko, I don't know. I was listening to it while I was at work, so I didn't really get to see whose channel it was on. They might have made a video for both channels, I'm not sure. One of them. I was listening to one of them, but I think it was an independent video that she had said, and I don't know. I've been watching their clips. I haven't watched like their actual videos. I don't really know I don't even know their names. It's a shame. I need to, because I've been really digging their clips. But the one girl, I'm like, the one girl with the hair, I'm like, they both have hair. They're both so pretty. Oh my gosh. But the one girl is like talking about how she used to really suffer from anxiety and how she used to come into agreement. And I was like, oh my gosh, that term, like coming into an agreement with your anxiety, coming into an agreement with, you fill in the blank, coming into an agreement with your illness, with your sickness, with where you're at in life, that you will be like this forever. You will be stuck like this forever. And I just think about this woman, suffering for 12 years, going to doctors, spending all she has, and she's not even getting better. In fact, she's getting worse. And the hopelessness, I mean, I don't want to assume her feelings. Like, I know what she went through, but I can only imagine how hopeless that would feel to, see different people that are supposed to be helping you and they're really not. And just imagine that relief that instant relief, how crazy, I don't know, just how crazy that is. I'm in awe, seriously. And then, but the coming into agreement, I've been like using that in my own life. I mean, I just heard it like yesterday, but I used it today because I had anxiety today, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, no, I'm not coming into an agreement with this anxiety. I'm not taking this on. Absolutely not. And it's really helped me so far. I mean, it hasn't been 24 hours, but when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. So anyways, that's it for chapter 5. I'm sure there's so much more. Like, because the thing is that, like, I have the study Bible, so, like, there's hello? There's so many notes. Well, you get the gist. There's so many notes of, like, I wish I could go through and read all of them, and, but it would just take a long time. It would take too long. But that is it for chapter 5, and then next time we will be on chapter 6. Which starts with the people of Nazareth refused to believe. And we'll get into some more stuff. It's a little bit longer, so hopefully I will be able to... Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, this is so exciting. Anyways, so hopefully I will be able... I don't know... I thought it said Herod antipasta. Anyways, I need to go to bed desperately. It's probably about 11 o'clock now. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to continuing to read this. And yeah, until next time.